Lord Brahma was performing severe austerities to have darshan of the Lord, and that was in Odisha. So Odisha is a place we know is a state in India, a little more near 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 Jharkhand and all these kind of places. So there is a mountain known as Brahmagiri. So Brahmagiri, that Giri means mountain, and that mountain got the name Brahmagiri because Brahma performed austerities there. So when Brahma successfully performed his austerities, and after that Krishna personally gave him his darshan. So when Krishna gave him his darshan, then he became so pleased and he wanted to remember that form of the Lord and to always have that impression of that beautiful form of the Lord. He carves one deity. So Lord Brahma carves one deity from the stone resembling the form of the Lord which he had darshan of. Then after this he established the deity there in Brahmagiri, and it is said that even that place is known as Alvar Nath, because we know from Sri Sampradaya many Alvars had gone there to worship the Lord, and so that's why the deity also named as Alvar Nath. So as the deity was being worshipped by one Brahmana, and that Brahmana was very nicely was worshipping the deity. So he used to every day offer Naivedya, every day offer 5 times of Aratis, and offer all the rituals and following the Pancharatraka Vidhi, Agama Shastras, chanting different mantras, and having different mudras to worship the deity. So once what happened, he had to go to for some important work outside his town. So he had to leave the place, leave the temple at least for a week. But now he cannot leave the place because the deity is there, Krishna deity is there, but he has to do the work also, and there is nobody to take care of the deities, to take care of the worship. So but he had one, and his name was Sri Ketan. The Brahmin, the Pujari name was Sri Ketan. And the Sri Ketan had a son, 5-year-old son known as Madhu. Madhu means very sweet. So he was 5-year-old and he calls out to his son and he says, "My dear son, I am going to out of town for 5 days, and as you are my only son, there is no one to take care of the deities. You have to take care of the deities." Then you can just imagine in a temple the deity is being worshipped, and 5-year-old son is coming to know that I have to worship the deity. And I never know, I don't know all those mantras, I don't know all those shastras, I don't know all those rituals, I don't know different mudras, what you use in worshipping the deities. It's so difficult for me, I cannot do that. I'm a small boy, it's my age to, play around and learn things. So, but he says, I don't have any option, you have to do very simple thing. Your mother cooks for the Lord, so she will cook, and she will cook the sweet rice. You just have to keep it in the small bowl, and you have to go and offer it to the deities, and he will eat it. Oh my dear father, that's simple. Okay, I will do that. So then next day he get ready in his own Brahminical attire, wearing dhoti and chadar, and after that his mother gives him nicely cooked sweet rice, and the sweet rice is being put into the small bowl, and the Madhu, the small boy, goes in front of the deity and he says, "My dear Lord, please eat this." And after saying like this, he just goes out and starts playing, and he plays with his own kids because he had just left the game in between. He had to go and complete it, and after completing his game, again he comes back. He comes back to the altar, but he sees that Lord has not eaten. Lord has not eaten anything. And the father had said, "Lord will eat." And he started becoming very worried. Did I do something wrong? Did I not offer it properly? Then he started imploring to Krishna, "Krishna, please eat it. If you don't eat it, my father will become angry on me and he will say you have done something wrong." Because he didn't know that Krishna don't have to eat it by himself. it is said for Krishna that Angani yasya sakalendriya vitti manti pashyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti anandi chinmaya sadujjala vigrahasya govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. For the Lord, He can eat. So the Lord's senses acts very differently from our senses. Our senses are limited in nature, that we can do only one function from one senses. But Lord's senses are multi tasking. So He can see through His eyes, but He can also eat through His eyes. He can speak through His mouth, but He can also hear through His mouth. So all the senses of Krishna has the capability to perform all other functions. That is what Brahma Ji says in the Brahma Samhita. So this philosophy, this small kid didn't know that Krishna has already eaten and it is being given as prasad now. But he start crying, start becoming very emotional. He had to eat Krishna. Krishna, please eat this, and my father will scold me. No, you have to do that. So basically, he had that faith. So now, because of his intense faith that Lord will eat, that faith he had in his heart, and out of that faith he had that love, and out of love he was offering. So then it is said that different avatars of Krishna perform different functions, and it is said that Archa avatar specifically has limited functions. So he will have a specific offering at a specific time. He will be worshipped through mantras, and he will not move, he will not speak, he will not be very visual to the people in general, visually doing some sort of activities. He'll be passively standing and giving darshan and giving blessings to all the devotees. That is the mode of Archa avatar. That is another kind of avatar. We have Leela avatar, where the Krishna comes only to perform Leelas. We have the Guna avatars, we have the Manvantara avatars. So like that we have different avatars of Krishna, different incarnation of the Lord. And the Archa avatar, the deity incarnation, is meant for a specific purpose. So, but it is said that Krishna, for his devotees, can break any rule, can break any regulation, can break anything. So Krishna again, it is even, we know the pastimes wherein Krishna has said that I will not fight in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. But when it came, when his devotee Arjuna was in a very difficult situation, and even that point of time Bhishma was attacking Arjuna, and then Krishna breaks his promise, although it would be on his image, it would be on his personality, but he didn't care for it because his devotee was in danger. Then he went out and he started chasing Bhishma with a wheel, as we know. He was about to kill Bhishma Dev, and Bhishma Dev suddenly went and touched the lotus feet of Krishna, and we know that sun also had set and it just discontinued. So even here, that the Lord has broken his rule that he will not eat, he will not speak in the form of deity. Then what he does is, okay, wait, Madhu, I will eat. In a deity form of the Lord, of his own Archavtaras, he brings his hand out and start eating everything. Actually, he eats with his fingers. And when he eats, he takes the empty bowl back to the Madhu, and he becomes very happy. Oh, my Lord has eaten and my duty has been successfully done. Then it is that the point was that when he goes back to his mother, he says, oh, where is the kheer? Where is the sweet rice? What are you talking about? Krishna has eaten the sweet rice. And it was a custom that they would eat only prasadam, what would come out from the altar. So that day they had to go fasting. So the next day again the same thing happened. His mother serves the sweet rice for the Lord, and Madhu goes and offer it to the Lord, and again he says, my dear Lord, please eat. With so much of heart, with so much of faith, with so much of love, with so much of genuine feeling for the Lord, he was offering it to the Lord, that Lord couldn't withstand that rules regulation, and he just went all out and started eating everything whatever was being offered to him. So it is said, how did he develop that faith? He was so faithful, and out of that faith he had that love, and out of love he was even making deity eat with his own personal hands. It is said that love comes from the faith, and faith comes from hearing. When we hear about the Lord from our transcendental pure sources like Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and from pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada, then that faith get transferred to us. And when that faith get transferred to us, and when we develop that faith of the Lord and we start practicing devotional life, we develop love for Him. And it is said that His love was developing by offering it to the Lord. Because anybody you want to develop love, you have to have some sort of exchanges. There is no development of love, there is no development of relationship if there is no exchanges happening between two people. The first exchange happens is of service, is of feeding that person. Any guest come to us, we develop that love, we express our love by making his favorite dishes, by making the favorite items what that person wants to eat. So this devotee also wanted to offer so many things to the Lord out of love, and we can understand that offering food items to the deities picture is so important, that we can develop our love for the Lord, which is already there in the heart of us, in all of our heart, by cooking for the Lord and by offering it to Him. So like that, he was enjoying a lot of exchanges between both of them. But the mother was very concerned. What's going on here? I don't understand anything. So after, like this, 3 days has passed by, and 4th day, his father comes back. And then when his father comes back, his mother reports to his father, see what is he doing? Every day he will take bowl full of sweet rice and he will go to the deity and he will just not bring anything back. Then this Sri Ketan Pandit becomes very angry. What are you doing? He thinks, what am I? I'm not doing anything wrong. You told me to offer it to the Lord and he's eating. How can he eat? He has not eaten anything when I was offering to him. He will not eat, I know. So basically the difference between the son and the father was, the son had intense faith, but the father did not have any faith on the Lord, that he can even eat. So he was very doubtful on the son. He says, okay, do one thing. Today we both will go and then you offer and let us see. Let us bring the reality out. You're not offering, I know that. So now he prepares a lot of items, and the Madhu takes all the items to the deity. And now the Sri Ketan, who was a Brahmin, he was seeing from the curtain. From behind he was seeing everything what's going on. Again he goes back, he prays to the Lord, my dear Lord, please eat. So now again the Lord is, because of the love of the devotee, he starts eating. He brings his hands out of the deity form, he pulls out things and starts eating from his finger. And when he was he was holding the hot cup of rice, sweet rice, the last meal, the last dish. Then that point of time, this Sri Ketan comes out of the altar, comes out of the curtain, and he holds the hand of the deity. And because he jerked the hand of the deity, that sweet rice spills out on the Lord. And that sweet rice spill onto the lips, onto the chest, and onto the arms of the Lord. And because the sweet rice was very hot, it is said that the deity form develops that scar. So, because of that hot sweet rice fell on the deity, it is said that it becomes scarred. His skin becomes scarred. His deity form becomes scarred by that hot burning sensation. So somebody can say how it can happen. Yes, it has happened just to exemplify how much Lord loves us, how much Lord wants to reciprocate to our feelings, how much He's just waiting. When my devotee will come, he will offer something to me out of love and he will be ready to eat. So that's why the same scar onto the lips, the chest and the arms of the deity is still there, present. And when we go to Jagannath Puri, it's almost 2 hour distance from Jagannath Puri. There's a place in Brahmagiri known as Alarnath. The same deity is still there. So you can go inside the altar, and the pujari will show you removing the flowers. Let's see, here the scars are. And my dear Lord has developed this scar because of this pastime. So we can understand how much love, how much sweetness the Lord has in exchanges, and so much of sweet exchanges we can have with the Lord, and we can be so blessed by His company. And we think we don't have any companionship, but we have the constant companionship of the Lord. And if we just hear about Him, if we just develop that faith, if we develop that love, if we start serving Him in that mood, in that feelings, then Lord is ready to break any rules, any regulations. It is said that we get bounded by some time because of our karma, which is law of nature. But sometime Krishna is even ready to break his own laws of karma to help the devotees coming near to him. So we understand from this beautiful pastime, and because the Lord got scarred because of love of devotee, that's why we say that this sweet pastime is love scarred Lord. The Lord who got scarred because of his loving exchanges with the devotees. That's how we understand these beautiful pastimes. And as we know, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita itself that when we discuss about the Krishna, when we discuss about the his pastimes, he becomes very happy, and he showers his blessings, he showers his faith, he showers his love onto the devotees who are engaged in hearing and speaking about the Lord's pastimes. So, hearing the Krishna's pastimes, which Srila Prabhupada have all written them in the Krishna book, which is a 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, if we hear Krishna's pastimes from this Srila Prabhupada written Krishna book, then Prabhupada says simply by reading this one book, he can go back to Krishna. That much love we can have for him. Because after reading so beautiful, so sweet, so nectarian pastimes, who can stay back now? If somebody hears about the Lord, nobody can stay back by not being with Krishna anymore. So we request all of you to please start reading this wonderful, beautiful book written by Srila Prabhupada and engage in hearing Krishna's beautiful pastimes like this. And I would just request all of you to please unmute yourself or just type on the chat section what is one learning all of you got from this particular pastime. So one learning, one striking point, one takeaway from this beautiful pastimes. I request all of you to please type on the chat section or unmute and speak about it.